Hello, I am back. My name is Hannah Orlamancy, and this time I'll be showing you how I made a Gravity Falls MABEL PINES doll again. I first made MABEL 5 years ago, and she was actually the very first doll I ever made and my most viewed video, so she's very special to me. But it's been 5 years, and it's Gravity Falls' 10th anniversary, so I thought it's time for a remake of MABEL. Because what is up with this sweater? Nah, she's not bad looking for my first doll, honestly. She's actually a bit cute. But I want to make a new doll anyway because I know I can do better. Last time I used a Michelle Mermaid doll, but this time I'll be using Madeline Hatter. I'm going to take the head off of this doll and put it onto a different Madeline Hatter body. A body that doesn't have sculpted leggings because why? Why would they do that? I hate sculpted leggings. But I really wanted her face to be smiling because I wanted to try and add her braces. You'll see how that goes later. To pop the head off, I let the doll sit in hot water for a few minutes, which made the head more squishy and easier to pull off. Alright, now that the head is off, let's cut off this hair. I cut as much hair as I could, then took my scissors and dug around the inside of the head to loosen up the remaining hair plugs. Then I took tweezers and pulled all the loose hair from the neck. I want the scalp color to match what will be her hair color, so I painted her scalp brown and then sealed the paint with matte Mod Podge. New hair time! In my last MABEL video, I rerouted the doll with nylon hair. I like nylon hair and I love how it looks, but I've become a huge fan of making hair out of yarn. It looks cute, it's easy to make the hair defy gravity, and it's much cheaper than buying nylon hair. New MABEL's hair won't be as long as old MABEL's hair, but oh well, we'll still look cute. Anyway, I cut strands of yarn and tied each piece to this metal hoop. I then brushed out the yarn starting from the bottom and working my way up as soon as each section was free of tangles. Once all the yarn was brushed out, I straightened the hair using my flat iron. I'm going to reroot the doll hair instead of making hair wefts so that I don't lose any of the length. I removed each strand from the hoop, then used a rerooting tool to push the strands into the head holes. Because the yarn is pretty thick, you don't need to insert strands into every single hole. You'll still get a full head of hair even when you skip entire rows of hair holes. Here's MABEL and her new hair. I'll style it later. First, we need to give her a new face. I covered her hair with some fabric and pinned it in place so it will be protected. Then I wiped off the factory paint using Q-tips dipped in acetone. I made sure to get into every little crevice of the face. I did one last final wipe of the face with acetone, and there we go! I sprayed the face with Mr. Super Clear to prep it for the soft pastels and watercolor pencils. Remember to always use a mask when dealing with spray sealants and use it in a well-ventilated area. Once the face dried, I used Faber-Castell's soft pastels to add blush to the cheeks. I sprayed it with Mr. Super Clear again so that it'll stay in place, then later started drawing on the face with watercolor pencils. I used both Faber-Castell and Prismacolor. I first sketched on the eyes and eyebrows with this beige color so that if I make any mistakes, it'll be easier to erase them than if I were to start drawing with, say, a black pencil. Once I'm satisfied with how it looks, then I can trace over it with darker and darker colors. I also make sure to spray Mr. Super Clear every once in a while so that I can build up the color and vibrancy. I had to redo Mabel's lips and teeth 3 times because I was trying so hard to give her braces without making it seem like she was missing teeth, but failed that. I did not like how the braces were turning out. The teeth area is just too small. So I'm just going to color the teeth area a solid white and pretend either the braces aren't visible or this is a slightly older Mabel who got her braces off. Done with the face! I sprayed it one last time with Mr. Super Clear, and then once that dried, I added gloss varnish to the eyes and lips to make them nice and glossy. Moving on to the clothing. Let's make Mabel's sweater. I'm actually using a jacket pattern from DG Requiem on Etsy, but the shirt back will be used as the front, and the shirt front will be used as the back. I decided to use this pattern because it has a loose fit, and Mabel's sweater looks a bit baggy. Once I cut out all the pieces, I sewed the back pieces to the front piece along the shoulders. Now for the sleeves. Because the clothing is so tiny and this particular fabric is stretchy, it's tough to sew, so I just used fabric glue to attach the sleeves. Next, I hemmed the bottom of the sleeves. To make this a turtleneck sweater, I cut out a long rectangle, glued it down, and then glued it along the neckline. Next, I sewed down the arms and sides of the sweater. I turned the sweater right sides out and then hemmed the bottom of the sweater with fabric glue. Now let's add her star. I drew the pieces of it onto felt, cut it out, and then glued it all together. For the skirt, I used a pencil skirt pattern from DG Requiem on Etsy. I sewed the skirt together along the sides, hemmed the bottom, and then sewed up the back. I originally left an opening at the top for Velcro or a snap, but I found that the fabric is so stretchy that I could sew up the entire back and still manage to get the skirt onto the doll, which makes things a lot easier. Still got to add a closure to the sweater though. I decided to add 2 snaps to it. I didn't put one at the bottom of the sweater because I wanted it to look baggy. Now Mabel's socks. I cut some ankle socks out of the white knit fabric, hemmed the top, and then sewed each piece together. For Mabel's shoes, I found the most similar shoes I could find in my giant bag of doll shoes. I think these are actually from a Disney Descendants doll. I turned them black using a Sharpie. Ta-da! Finally, we've got Mabel's headband. Okay, listen, I actually ran out of the same fabric I used for the sweater. I somehow threw out every single scrap. So now Mabel has a headband that is a different pink than her sweater. It's sad. Anyway, I just glued fabric down onto an Ever After High headband, and that's it. Lastly, we've got to add some curl to the bottom of Mabel's hair. I wrap the hair around a pencil and then press my flat iron on it. Done! Here's new Mabel next to old Mabel. I think new Mabel looks super cute. I'll always have a soft spot for my old Mabel doll though. What do you all think? Do you have a preference? I won't be mad if you like the old one better, I swear. Alright, thanks so much for watching, and a special thank you to those that have been subscribed ever since the first Mabel doll. You're amazing! Thank you for 5 years of support. And happy 10 years of Gravity Falls! Woohoo! Alright, bye!